told me what I was supposed to do. The society itself also proved that there was nothing I could do. But when I was taken to school, I gained that courage. Even as I talk today in the county, people know me because I do empower them. I tell them if I'm visually impaired and I've done that special needs education and I'm still in the university, what else can a person with disability cannot do? I do empower them. I'm proud of that because many have gone to school because of me. They've seen me have achieved, and I'm still pushing that to ensure that all people with disability in our area and all Kenya at large, they know the importance of that education. Because that education brings us together, we socialize and learn each other, we accept each other, and know that even as we have that ability, that all people in the world have.
Okay, I love to hear that. I love that. What challenges have you faced? Maybe they're outside there when you're going to empower those people in school when you're carrying out your studies. Maybe jobs you have applied for some.
The very most challenge that is there is lack of awareness.
Lack of awareness.
Because many people don't know where they can take their children. They lay there. They don't know about rehabilitation. They don't know about those schools. So when this awareness is created to all people with disability and all the society at large, they'll be able to take their children there and at least have a step and know where to begin. The other challenge is that segregation. The society feel that there is, they feel that these people with disabilities, the disability is a contagious disease. So they fear even associating with us. The other challenge is that not all students with disability come from well-off families. There is this poverty. Most of them come from poor background and there is lack of that school fees. The government say that they pay these school fees, which they are trying, but they have not reached at that level because there is this National Council for Persons with Disability. It funds, but they take long time before they fund. Some of them call off. Some of them they are not able to have that qualifications that those people may need, and these qualifications may be brought about the petty questions that they are being asked, and you feel that these people are asking the personal questions or they are getting into personal affairs. So you feel like, what are they looking at? Are they want to help or what do they need? You see? And people drop from the schools. And the other thing is also empowering these people with disabilities to know which kind of leaders that they should elect, because we lack that awareness of who is the right leader to choose. They've put us aside because they don't see if we can make it, because we've not been involved in politics, mostly in politics. Like the most seats that they give us is those of nominations, and they nominate for a person who does not have that disability to come and help us, you see, or be in charge of us. And yet the guy don't know the type of challenges that we might be facing too. Yes.
And now in life, you've achieved so much. I'm happy about that. Yeah, keep going. You are very able. And I ask, what would you want to become? What do you want to achieve?
I personally, I wish if I was in a position that I have capital, I come up with children home to help those students who are not able to have their education. Two, I'll be able to empower women, people with disability, And those people from, let me talk of all special groups, because each and every person has his or her own special need. I will encourage them to get education, because it's only education that will make you know your rights and what you're supposed to do in our society. Yes.
Thank you so much. I'm very, very happy to have you. Thank you for allowing me to interview you. Welcome, Grace. Yeah, please tell us your full name. You're Grace Dengo, yeah? What type of disability do you have?
It's called spinal bifida.
Okay.
Spinal bifida is something to do with spine.
It's something to do with spine.
Yeah.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 24 years old.
Okay. And last, which country are you from?
Kenya.
You are from?
Kenya.
Okay. Up to what level of education have you gone to?
Right now I'm doing Bachelor of Education Arts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which year?
Second year.
Wow, that's very good. Yeah. What challenges have you faced? Maybe in school, social life, maybe seeking for attachment, job.
They say there are many challenges I faced since I was born, but I thank God at this time.
Okay.
Most of the challenges that you face, I personally face is to do school. You know, I went to school, a normal school, not a disabled school. So find most of the time we don't have facility for us. We find we need good toilets as which we can access.
Oh, yeah.
We need lamps, so certified stairs. You see, I also socialization is a bit hard because people fear us. You don't want to be associated with person with disability. So by that time we used to have a lot of challenges. But the school I went, at least administration did something. They tried to make infrastructure. At least the principal was very concerned. So at least it makes my life a bit easier. And also by the time students used to me, they used to interact and this make us to be friends. But the first time it was a challenge because they could just look at her. They fear everything, like they will touch you and you die. I don't know. Then you feel like you are discriminated.
Yeah.
So, but by the time at least we were, there's an organization called St. Martin in Nairobi in Kenya.
Okay.
And this is an organization that do awareness about disability. That organization came to a school, and tried to talk to my schoolmates. I think now they could accept me, they could see me as just a normal person, and at least the life was a bit easy. Also in family, we have a problem. Like my father abandoned me, so the conflicts are really in the family because always the mom is blamed. He seems as the one who brings disability. So
traditions.
Those things. Yeah. Sometimes people say you are witchcraft, you don't want those things, society and all stuff. So at least this has brought many challenges for my parents. But life must continue.
Exactly.
At least you have to encourage yourself to say, after all, you have to study.
Yeah, I'm able.
I'm able. I have to do it.
Yeah,
so right now, at least my mom supports me. He's the one who tried to help me with that organization called St. Martin. He's the one that paid for my school fees. And I thank God. Me see my life going on normally. Because despite that you're in wheelchair, that does not mean that you can't make it. Yeah, you can study. As long as you have a brain, you can use your brain. And I have hands, I can use it.
Yeah.
I can achieve everything I want as long as I live. As long as I have a life, I can do anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all about by the way self-esteem. My self-esteem is a bit high.
Yeah.
I know I can make it.
Yeah.
Although it's tough, I don't care
how
much I can. You will climb the stair and use the ramp. All of us will get to the upstairs. Exactly. Yeah, these challenges are there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But fortunately, you're strong enough. I love that.
I thank God.
Yeah. What about the achievement? What have you achieved so far?
By looking at me, I've achieved. I've achieved. I'm in university. Many people, by the way, in villages, they don't get to this place.
It's true.
One, because they don't believe themselves. maybe even they feel like they can't make it. But the moment you know that you can make it, despite of the problem that you have, you can meet. You can meet. Especially going, okay, you know, many schools, they don't accept us. But they went to many schools, they said, no, we cannot accommodate you, we don't have facilities. But you have to push until you succeed. So, yeah, the life has to go.
Sure.
Yeah.
And what you do want to become in life? What you do want to achieve large?
First of all, I love, oh my God, I'm doing education, so it means I'm learning to be a teacher.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get to the school and teach children. But the most thing that pushed me nowadays is to feel that I can change life of someone. Like I can talk to someone who has disability, who is very down, who think can't make it, and he gets that morale and say, oh, I can, oh, I can, I can. So, and he starts doing something. So that's my great wish, that I can impact or change the life of someone, you know, especially those people in village. So actually that is my desire. That's all I want to do. To change the life of someone. Yeah, to do anything to do with community, like to improve the community or their perspective about disability. Not only disability, even the other things. You know, many things help people not to move on. Yeah, so they those believe in misconception and all those myths and everything. So at least to enlighten them, to do awareness now to them, so that they can move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you recommend to be done for persons with disability to better their lives? Maybe make it they feel the sense of belonging, because as I said, there's some people think that they have less ability because they can do not do this or that. What do you think? What do you recommend by the society?
I think all this problem is caused by lack of information. Information that is ignorant. If people are enlightened, for example, let me just give an example of myself. When I was at home, this time I used not to go to school. I was just at home. I thought I have a disability, that's all.
I get you,
It's just someone came to me and told me, no, Grace is not right. You should go to school. You know you can make it. So the same thing can be done to the society. You have to show them that despite that they have disability, they have also their abilities. Everyone has ability, by the way.
Very true.
And everyone has disability.
Yeah.
Even you have a disability. Maybe you don't, but you have one. I know.
Very true. Yeah, obviously.
You have disability.
Yeah.
So I think it's for us, who at least we know, all you have this information to give back to society. At least show them that to tell them, to show them how we are. We have people with disability and we have our own abilities. Not only focusing on limitations. Let's focus on the abilities that we have. Despite I cannot use my hands, my legs, I can use my hands. I do cook, I do many things. Why don't you focus on my strength or my hands? Don't focus on that, I can't walk. Exactly, I can use my mouth to sing. Focus on that ability. And that can make us to move on. By the way, we can participate in many things in society if you're given chance. If you're given chance, we can do many things. And even those who are in those local places, in rural places, they can still make it. They only need information. Yes.
This information is power.
Yeah, to empower them, to encourage them. We know they are hopeless. They don't know what to do. You just need it.
What are your last words to the society? What would you tell the society at large?
What I can tell them is that we are people like another people, like anyone. We are people. So let's not see us as like we are not part of them. Let's be inclusive. Let's be together. If we come together and work together, involve us in the activities, please us as if it's a family. That child who has a disability, take it like any other. If there's a right to education, let him be taken to school. If it's everything, let's be involved. And this will make us go together. Exactly.
Wow, thanks so much for that. Thanks for sharing that with me. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
What would you tell Commonwealth and UCESCO as they are passing this awareness of Unable campaign?
First, thank them so much for remembering us. We appreciate so much, and I will ask them to remember those people who are in rural areas and villages. Those people, they don't have information about them, and they need awareness about disability and everything. And they can set aside funds to do that job. At least for people who can go to them, like us, we can go there, encourage them with examples of those people who have succeeded. At least I can carry them at university, and I can tell that person that, you know, I read this far, you can also do it. So, such kind. Also, you know, those people come from very humble background. Even to raise funds to get them to school, it's a bit hard. I did know we need them to go to school so that they can develop the perhaps skill, they can be independence and all that stuff. So at least if Commonwealth set aside fund to do that, we can appreciate so much. You know, also in Kenya, specifically, let's talk about Kenya. We have laws that talk about people with disability. We know their rights, but those things are not exercised. At least if Commonwealth enforce those laws, for example, Kenya, enforce those, at least those people can benefit. They can benefit from the rights, because everyone has a right, for example, for education, for good health, and all of those stuff. Yeah, this can help so much. Yes.
Yeah, very helpful information.
Yeah.
Thank you so much again.
I appreciate it.
Can you tell us your full name?
Okay, I'm called Jeremiah Lochomin Ebei.
Jeremiah
Lochomin Ebei.
What type of disability do you have?
I'm visually impaired.
How old are you?
I'm 24 right now. I was born 1992 March
Okay.
16.
Which country are you from?
Okay, maybe I can say I'm a crossbreed.
Okay, what does that mean?
My dad is a Ethiopian, my mother is a Kenyan, that's a Turkana.
Okay.
But personally, I would prefer myself to be called a Kenyan. Because mostly I've resided in Kenya.
Okay, that's nice. What level of education do you have?
Sorry?
What level of education do you have?
I'm a graduate in Kenyatta University.
Have you graduated yet?
Not yet, I will be graduating my business
Okay. What
this
course?
year.
What course are you taking?
I'm taking education, a combination of history and Swahili as subjects.
Okay. What kind of challenges have you faced or you're currently facing in life, maybe in school, such as attachment, social life? Can you share with us?
Always in life we have very many challenges, even just to the normal human beings, to the normal people, able-bodied people. So sometimes as a person with disabilities, you are so much even exposed to all of various problems. You are vulnerable to problems. Okay, personally I told you I was born in Turkana County, and that is one of the marginalized areas in Kenya. So as a result, there are very many problems accompanied to such hard areas. If, for example, the studying, someone you only wanted to study, in fact to start education was a problem. So far when you are born with the parents that are not educated. So for access to education is one problem. And so much I was lucky to come across a certain priest, a Catholic priest, and he took me to primary school, that is Turkana Integrated, primary school, still in southern Turkana. So I started in Turkana integrated. In fact, we were just very few students, officially impaired students. It was an integrated school. I started Turkana integrated. I finished 2008. That's when I did my KCPE. And likely, not bragging, I was the best in the school. So far, a year in the history of the school, I was the best since the school was started. And so far, I was also the best disabled student across the country.
Wow.
That's I scored 373 marks. And to such areas, for me to be educated, that there are also problems. Take for example, the school I studied was in a marginalized area, so access to books, reading resources was very problematic. You are always to accompany to your friends, always to read for you. So it's a problem. You know, for some people you have to be self-dependent, but you are always needed to be read by others. And also by joining the high school, I was called to these high schools. In fact, one of the schools that I was called was Lanana High School. And I was also called to Kapsabet Boys. But all those schools were not special schools. And also the parents were not able to raise the fee. So in good luck, I happened to enroll to a nearby school, Katim Boys High School. That's the school that I studied. Also, there are some problems campus with it. In fact, we studied where there were no water. You were to move some 5 kilometers away. You move with your jerrycan so that you may fetch water. Also, books were still a problem in such areas. Also, most of the students that you study with have not interacted so much with people with disability. So in first times, they may view you like a certain ghost. They may shy away from you. But when you start interacting with them, as the time goes, they become your best friends. In fact, it is so much best to study in an integrated school. Integrated settings make people with disability be part of the society. They feel like they are mainstream in the society. So they feel accepted members. When you just go with your sighted friends, you walk with them around, you discuss with them, so you are part of, you socialize with them, you become part of them, and you feel accepted, and surely it will give you confidence in facing life. You just say, okay, this is good, I'm studying with them in the same class, I'm not segregated. By being placed in an enclosed room, you are taught there alone. You know, sometimes you feel yourself like you are not a normal human because you are treated in a special way. But when you integrate with others, you become self-acquainted and you become self-reliable and you socialize very well with others.
Very, very true.
And so that is problems. I finished in 2012 my high school. I scored a B+. In fact, for your information, it was the only officially impaired or the disabled student in Katin Boys High School.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the pioneer of the integration in the school. So mostly I benefited also because I was one person in the school, so I got a lot of assistance from the well-wishers. Like my school fees was paid by the Evangelizing Sisters of Mary. That's a Catholic organization. And also some of the part of fee was paid by the Lydian Foundation. Still, it's a foundation, a Catholic foundation also. through the Diocese of London, through a very good person called Tony Woods, who is my immediate assistant in life. And I joined Kenyatta University in 2013, that is September. So that is where I am right now, pursuing.
That's very good. You answered me the achievement question, but I would also ask again, what achievement have you achieved beyond your disability? Beyond what community thought that you would achieve?
Okay, you know, in life, even studying up to where you have reached, it is one of the achievements. And also one thing that I've always strived to do in my community, personally, being given that I'm from a very marginalized and vulnerable community, we have very many people of my kind. That's people with disabilities. And most of those people with disabilities, when they are from the families that are from illiterate families or non-educated people, they might not be taken to school. And one thing that I've done, I've always mobilized all the people in my village. I'm from a village called Kaiko, extreme north of Turkana County. I've always made sure that they all go to school. In fact, when I was in high school, I used to go and collect, I was traveling with 3 of my visually impaired students. I used to bring them to school, using my pocket money. Because the families that were coming from, their families were unable. So I always came to them to school, paid school fees, I paid the transport fee, them up to school. So, and also, right now in Turkana, I'm also running a self-help group. It's called Mulika Disabled Group.
What does Mulika Disabled Group mean?
Mulika. Mulika means, maybe in English, Mulika says reflect, or Mulika, it has a broad meaning also. Maybe Mulika is when you also try to see others, feel others in the state where they are. So we mean you go and find your friends wherever they are, find them. The people with disabilities, you find them. So we do apply to the funding organizations, they fund us, and we give those money, we distribute them to the members. So it's a self-help group we are running.
Yeah, very good. And when we asked, what do you want to achieve in life beyond where you reached? What goals do you have in life? What do you want to achieve?
Personally, okay, when you see people, all of us in life always have certain targets that we set in life. So, let someone not cheat you that you always start your target by saying, I will be helping others. First, you have to set a target for yourself.
It's true.
So, personally, I wanted to be prosperous. In fact, personally, I like teaching.
It's okay.
So that's why I took a teaching course.
Yeah.
And also, I wanted to pass the knowledge to my friends so that they may reach wherever I am. Personally, I want to be a qualified and a professional teacher, and a good teacher. And also, I personally want I want to become prosperous in life. Prosperity means maybe getting a good job, having a family, a prosperous family, maybe rearing children, such things about life.
Okay, yeah, very good. And what would you recommend to be done to people with persons with disability to better their lives and to make them feel belong. There's some people back in the village who feel like they are left out, that they cannot be able to do this and that. What would you recommend to be done to those people?
Yes, there are very many services that if offered to people with disabilities, they could become like any other person in the society. In fact, they always say people with disabilities contribute 90% of their country GDP. Because people with a disability, when take for example a visually impaired person, when he's employed, he has to get assistant. That assistant, he will employ that assistant. A person with a disability will also have a family to raise. That family is part of the community and it is participating directly to the society. Also, people with disability do run very big businesses and they employ a variety and very many people. So you also have to employ those people, so you contribute to the society. So some of the things or services that the government or any other society or institute or entity that people might come to contact with people with disabilities may offer services. Take for example, services like communication services. No communication is one of the greatest tools that is unifying the world. If people with disability are far away from communication or are not up to date with their rights, take for example, they are behind in issues of technology, so they might feel isolated. So the communication, people with disabilities should be made accessible to communication or information of their environment. Take for example, people with disabilities need to be computer literate. They should know the issues about computer, because when you know computer, you will access the technological world and you will have other information with you. Also, another service that people with disability need is free movement, like any other person. As someone with disability, you have very many restrictions or obstacles in life. Take for example, a person with physically handicaps may not move around. If that person will be provided with a wheelchair, it may make that person mobile. Also, some people with, take for example, people with visual handicaps, they do get difficulty to accessing to buildings that have only stairs. Take for example, a wheelchair will not access a building with only stairs. So those buildings need to be modified such that ramps may be installed, they may access easily. People with visual impairment may need a white cane so that they may go around. And right now, people with disabilities also, we have smart white canes, like wheelchairs, we have the motorized wheelchairs. So they will make those people mobile and it will be so much good for them. Also, another service that people with disability need to be provided is access to education. You know, education in Kenya is expensive. And so much, most of the people with disabilities are from humble backgrounds. So they may not afford that high education. So if the parents do not have that amount of educating you, so you will just be left to rot in the village. In fact, you will just be abandoned in the family. So the government could have given a priority to educate the people with disability. In fact, it would have been better if they say you will be provided maybe things like upkeep money and also money to finance you, and also you will be educated for free. That will be so much of great help. It will eliminate these people who call them beggars in the streets, because most of them will be able to learn. So if you are not educated, what will you do? The cheapest thing a disabled person can do is go and sit in the street and beg.
They are not educated.
So education is one thing that the government should do. Also another thing that we have, like the Constitution of Kenya, they say people with disabilities are exempted from taxes. But sometimes I see it is not realistic. Or if it is there, it is only for the few that do access the high offices in the republic. But these other people with low profile, like us students, we do still pay taxes. Take for example, when I go and buy a bread, I do just buy a bread the way other people buy. So I don't know where exemption of tax is there. And also, they say they exempt you taxes when you are employed. But also for you to receive that tax exemption certificate, you have to pass through difficult and very difficult ways of getting that certificate. You will pass a lot of process. So they need to listen those processes if they need to help.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard you mention about some of the rules that need to be enforced. And you may ask, what other rights do persons with disability have? You have a number of them that maybe the village back then they don't know that they have a right to some things. What are the rights, some of the rights that you have?
Yeah, okay. According to the Kenyan Constitution, Article 54, it talks about the disability rights. Like that right to access to information and to access to educational services. They do say that, like not designing buildings such that people with disability may access. Also, you have a right to what you call affirmative action. The Constitution of Kenya states that in every employment, 5% of the employment should be allocated to people with disabilities. But most of the counties in Kenya, or even sometimes the public offices, they don't enforce such things. People do not know that. There is a survey that was carried some years back by the Aga Khan University about the employment rate of the people with disability. They always say out of 1,000 employees of the government, you can get only one is a disabled person. So for sure, if you convert that to percentage, it will become some